day? It's day number 1. Getting back to the gym. Yeah, I'm nervous as hell. It's what? 5:40 a.m. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. I'm going to bring you on my first day back to the gym, and I'm going to be recording it. And I'm going to be mic'd up. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We got this. This is going to be a good time. This is our space. This is where we connect with our body. This is where we get stronger. Let's get to it. First of all, it's really cold. So as I was walking in, I saw like the most curvaceous woman. And in the back of my head, I had the thought where I was like, what's the possibility of her thinking, oh, I need to lose some weight or I need to get fit? There's someone that could look at her and be like, I want that. But then she could also have in the back of her mind that she is going to the gym because she wants to change it in some way. And that had me thinking how being fit isn't only about what you look like anymore. Yes, it 100% is still the aesthetics. Like you want to have the curves, you want to lose the weight. It still absolutely is. But there are so many different types of bodies that are fit and that are considered fit now, which is really important for us as women, for everybody in general, all genders. But, you know, we specifically talking about the women over here. And then I thought, well, people don't just want to feel fit, they also want to look fit at the end of the day. That's still going to be like the major driver. You just realize along the way that you want to feel it and not just look it, because you can look it and not feel it, and that is a very terrible space to be in. You see how your brain can go into so many different places? Anyways, so what I'm doing right now is called fascial release. It releases all the tension in the most easily accessible layer of your muscles, basically. You know that little tightness that you have in your muscles? This kind of opens it up a little bit more. Doing this for the first time, I must warn you though, you will feel it. Don't put too much weight on this. Or for me, I've been doing this for quite some time, so I can put one leg up. But if you're beginning to do this and you're adding this to your regime because you have the time for it, what you can do is just kind of hold yourself up with your elbows completely extended, pushing your body into the ground and allowing yourself to just slowly roll around on it. You want to find a spot that feels very tight and then stay there. When I say stay there, don't try and go deeper and deeper. Just stay there for a moment. All right, feel it. Breathe through it. And then allow yourself to sit more and more onto that spot. You'll realize as quickly how much it's helping you and how much your lifts are going to be a lot smoother. We're going to be using my app for today. We're going to start off with some hip abductor rock backs. We're going to have one knee placed on the mat. We're going to extend our toe onto the mat on this side. We're going to point it outwards, and then we're going to make sure that the back leg over here is flat. I don't know if you can see that. I'm putting it behind me. I just wanted to show you what it's looking like. You're seeing down my chest. It's okay. There's not too much there, so I don't think it's going to be that distracting. Let me know if it is distracting. I'm not moving the camera. As you are on top of your palms, you're just going to push your hips back. You should feel like a nice stretch in your hamstrings. And we're just going to rock back and forth. We're getting our body ready for this beautiful lower body day that my coach has given me. Oh, I didn't even tell you why the hell I'm doing this. So I decided that I'm going to be doing a deficit. Coach is about to be leaning out and go through all of her past traumas that she hasn't been able to fully uncover. I would never trust myself to do a deficit on my own. With all the things that I have going on in life, I have no capability or the capacity to fully be able to commit to something and keep myself on track without life throwing me in a million different directions. Life already throws me in a million different directions. To do that with a deficit on my own is not the best idea. By the way, as you've noticed, I switched over to the other side. Did I count how many times I did this? No, but you should probably do this about, what does the app say? 8 to 10 times each side. Next one is frog T-spine rotations. The great thing about this is that there's a video. I always recommend everybody to make sure that they watch the videos before they go to their workouts because it'll save you so much time. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into this nice like hip opening movement here, just like we were doing with the first exercise where we would have our leg out, except this time we're going to keep both our knees on the mat. And then you're going to have one arm placed onto the ground. And whenever you do stuff like this, make sure your arm is straight, it's not bent. And you're going to be pushing that force to the ground to keep you nice and stable. Like if anyone tried to move me, I'm really completely connected to the ground. And I'm keeping this very strong. And then all we're going to do, we're going to open up to the outside. And we're going to make sure that we follow our hand as well too. I'm not gonna look that way and do this. I'm going to keep my arm nice and strong here. I'm going to bring my arm all the way down, and then I'm going to reach to the ceiling and open up my fingers. And then we're going to do that probably 8 to 10 times. You'll probably feel like, wow, there's a lot of pressure that's being put on my shoulder here. Yep, don't worry. As you do this a couple of times, just like when you do the major exercises, mobility also requires you to do this over and over again so you don't feel certain tension in areas because your body's not used to it. Cool. Look at that. I don't know if you noticed, but my elbow actually ended up bending. We want to continue to keep that straight. If you're not doing this, you won't realize how much your muscles or your other parts of your body decides to just quit on you. And then you'll go through a whole exercise trying to do a squat. You're overcompensating, holding the bar, using your upper body because your legs are no longer being intact. Also, when you're doing this, you want like full rotation. You don't want to just go and up. How many was that? I don't know. Lisky. All right, we have 10 of these. I used to do glute activations until I realized you don't have to do glute activations. It's just additional time that you might want to do other things for. So they're not terrible. It's not a don't do glute activations. It's do you need it? Do you have the time for it? And if you do find yourself not activating your glutes properly while you're working out, it'll probably be a good tool. Here's one thing that I see people do very often with this exercise. They'll like arch their back. Make sure you're tucking in your pelvis, right? You see that difference from an arched back to tucking your pelvis? Because someone will say like, don't arch your back. And you're like, okay, how do I unarch my back? All you need to do is just tuck in your pelvis, okay? And you'll already feel, oh my God, this is my butt. It is burning right now. And then you're going to lower the butt down, and you want to focus on using your heels to drive you up. That's also going to help you keep your pelvis tucked, and then drive your heels, or allow your heels to go back down. Not allow your heels to go back down. Your heels are on the ground. Your hips to go back down. And then use your heels to drive you back up while keeping your knees out. Don't let them collapse when you go up like this, okay? Keep those knees out and use your heels to help you lift that pelvis while you're keeping it tucked and not arched. And that ends our mobility part. Now, I first want to note, I was recording myself talking this whole time, and I didn't feel any sort of anxiousness. On my first day back, I'll have to go outside in the busier part of the gym, and that's not going to be fun trying to record myself doing that. But we can do it. We got this. Exercise number 1, let's go. Okay, so very clear that I was yapping for way too long because the gym got very busy. I think they're actually setting up for a class. Shit, I'll just do this real quick. So we're gonna do our RDLs first, and then we're going to do our hip thrusts afterwards. So whenever you find yourself in the situation where you have a routine set up, but then that routine ends up getting shifted because the gym is busy, maybe someone just is using your machine, or you can't find your machine, go on to the next exercise, and then you can just bring yourself back. Don't freak out. I used to freak out like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, someone's using the machine. You can also ask them, but with the amount of people that were there, I'm like, let me just go do these RDLs first. Focus on squeezing my shoulder blades back as if there's like a tennis ball, or using the ball that I used earlier as right in my armpits. And I'm going to engage my lats. And then I'm going to push my hips back as if I'm about to reach for my toes. And I'm not going to go beyond my knees further than this. Actually, I should place this way. There's people are going to be walking in, and they're going to immediately just see my ass. The entrance and exit is over here. Being mindful. Very demure. Imagine just walking in and then all you see is just somebody bent over with their whole crotches in your face. That's not something I would want to be the person doing, you know? Another person walked in, she would have just saw my ass all up in her face. Was it the brown starfish? Cut that out. Notice how I'm not rushing this, by the way. So we're pushing our hips back. And then we're standing upright. Okay, that was a nice starting weight. Yeah, I'm not gonna be talking through this one because here's a heavier weight. I just wanna stay focused on this one. Engage lats, chin up. I could have done more. Difference between a warm-up and working set. You see, this is the reason why I got kicked out. I'm talking too much to you because now that I have the camera on and I know that you're watching, I'm like, I want to give you as much value as possible as I'm going through this workout, but I'm taking a lot more breaks than I necessarily should. But at the same time, this is my first session. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm taking a little bit more breaks. But there's something called a warm-up session, and then there's a working session or working set. So your warm-up is just going to be something insanely light. It could be body weight, it could be just the bar. And it's not going to be challenging. It's just to help you start the movement, get you into the exercise like the mobility aspect did, but you're actually utilizing the actual exercise to get you ready for the exercise so that you are aware of how your body is moving, and then you can start adding weight onto it so you can find yourself progressing a little bit easier. My 20-pound RDL could have been considered a warm-up set because it wasn't very challenging. You didn't see me at the end go, oh, I could have did so much more with those 20 pounds. Whereas somebody else's warm-up set could be like 10 pounds or 5 pounds. Don't pick up the 5 pounds. You know how I feel about 5 pounds. If you don't know that yet, then you know at least this is the starting point of it. Now, I could consider my first working set, which is with weight that's going to be challenging me, even though the 40s definitely didn't challenge me as much as I thought they would be, because she's a strong girl. Oh, my butt. I definitely need to go up and weight. All right, you know what I just realized? I didn't even tell you why this is the first day back to the gym. April is my birthday month. My birthday is April 6th. Okay, feel free to wish me a happy belated birthday, and for next year, make sure to send me gifts. But it's also my mom's birthday. There are a lot of Aries in my family, a lot. And she just turned 50, and I turned 30, and then my brother visited us with his 2 kids, so my nephews came to visit, and one of them had a serious virus, and that virus attacked my whole family. We were all out except for my mom, which I'm so grateful for. Oh my God. And so that virus hit me after I got a very, very random infection. And so I've been out for a week now, and I'm still a little congested. It was actually very bad. I had a very high fever as I was still operating, still doing work and whatnot, but just dimming my switch rather than flicking the light off and saying that I can't do anything. I still have my body to do the things that I possibly could, like go on walks or just do very simple mobility things, taking a lot of naps. This is my first day back, lifting heavy weights, allowing myself to bend over because I was having migraines like crazy. My body just felt so sensitive. Everything that I did, every touch, like I felt. Just being able to bend over and do an RDL is I'm so grateful for. Being able to do 40 pounds, feeling like I know I can go so much heavier, but I'm just not allowing myself because it's the first day back and I don't need to overdo it. It's great. And being able to talk through movement and explain things and just be vocal about what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. This is such a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy that I look at health this way. I'm so happy because health did not look this way for a very long time for me. It was a lot different. My program does say that I'm supposed to do a working set with this one. There's a chance that she meant to do it just because it's the first big movement. So I'm going to ignore that for this one. Sorry, coach. Actually, no, that's a terrible idea. I haven't done hip thrusts in a while. Let me actually drop the weight. Let's not do that. Safety first. So we have a rep range of 8 to 12. After I finish the set, I'll tell you why we do rep ranges. Okay, rep ranges are important because you don't have to hit an exact number for one, so you don't have to feel perfect. But this allows you to know if you're on the lower end of a rep range, you don't have to change the weight. My rep range is from 8 to 12. If I am only able to do this amount of weight with 8 reps, I'm going to probably stick to this weight so that I can focus on now getting to 9 reps instead of 8 the next set. Or maybe I can push further and do 10 reps instead of 8 the next set. And I'm able to do all of this and still be breathing and talking afterwards and do a full 12, and means it's time to increase the weight. So the rep ranges allows you to work through that exercise week by week, get better at it, progressively overload, as in add a little bit more weight. For me, this is definitely a lot easier of a weight. I could have did more reps. Again, this is just more of my warm-up set, but I'm not going to add only 10 pounds because this is easy for me. But for somebody else, they hit 45 and at their 12th rep, they were like, oh my God, that was a lot of weight. You still hit your 12. So you can add a 2.5 or 5 pounds on each side. 130 35, 135 plus 10s at the end, 35, 45, 55, 150. I'm going to push to do 10. Ain't no way that I'm not doing 10. 10 reps, easy. 10 is easy, bro. Easy, remember. 10 reps, easy, bro. 10 reps is easy, bro. 2, push through the heels. 3. 4. 10 reps, easy, bro. 10 reps is easy, bro. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. When you hit your high rep range and you know that it was challenging, you could add 5 pounds. You could add 2.5 pounds. You could also stay the same and just focus on it moving a little bit better. The first couple of reps, I was just like, whoa. I definitely want to do that again. Just make sure that every single rep is closer to being great than the last set. Not perfect, but closer to being great. I'm going to review the video. That's another thing about recording yourself. I have so much videos of me working out that you guys don't see at all because I do it so I can look back after each set and see how my body's moving. Because sometimes, a lot of times, majority of the time, every time, you don't know exactly what's happening because you're in it. But when you get the opportunity to look and see the full picture, you'll be like, oh, I was 100% overextending. I 100% wasn't standing back upright. I was not breathing. After reviewing that video, I love the way that I was moving. Although it felt like it was a lot, it still looks smooth. Now, another reason why you might want to stay the same or not increase is because you notice how much pressure you're putting on your face when you're doing the exercise. Eventually, as you progress in your fitness journey, you'll realize you don't make the same like, I'm about to take a shit faces with the weight that you used maybe a few weeks ago. That is also an indication of progress as well too, when you're not squishing your face as much because the weight isn't as heavy anymore. So that's another reason why I'm going to stay the same is because throughout every rep I was like you're not really getting much here. That looks intense though. Okay, so now we're actually filming in the main gym and I'm really proud about that because I usually would chicken out and be like, well, too many people. This is why it's good to come in with a plan because I immediately sat down and was like, I'm just gonna move the machine. Okay, we have 3 sets, 10 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's your week been? How are you feeling? What have you realized about yourself in the past week, in the past day? I'm really hungry. Why did I put the camera all the way over here? Oh my gosh, I'm over here. I got distracted by a cute nerdy guy that smiled at me. There was no reason for me to start pointing the camera over there. This is not a good angle. You're just gonna see me pop open my legs. If this is what we shall do, this is what we shall. Nah, it's weird. I can't do that. For a whole 10 reps, this is crazy. That's better. This is our last exercise. I'm bringing my butt closer to the edge of the seat because that's going to affect our glute medius more. Our glute medius is the one that is very important for the shell. And this is also an insanely busy gym too. I don't know if you noticed or if you can hear it, but there are people obviously walking past. There's people that are just doing their own things. Sorry. Oh, girl, don't worry. It's not a big deal. Also, I love the gym fit. I said I love the gym fit. The color, it looks so good on your skin.
Thank you. I love that one too.
Thank you. So I've been trying to just like, and we're back. It's actually a really fun gym session. It was long as fuck though. Oh my god. Now I'm going to actually take the time to stretch, which I know is something that you do not do. I actually hate stretching here because I think the mats are gross and I can't fully stretch the way that I want to because I can't face plant my face into this mat because I only can imagine how many people have used it, and just feeling right now is grossing me out. But for you, I shall do a stretch. Oh, you see? Oh, I just touched like a wet spot on this mat. This is so gross. I did wipe it too. Like, I'm getting grossed out, I'm getting grossed out, I'm getting grossed out, I'm getting grossed. I am going to stretch at home. There will be another video where I do a full stretch. I just can't stretch at the gym. I can't do it. No. Everywhere is nice and dry except for this. Like, why does it feel like that? This was a great session. It was very eye-opening. It was a beautiful experience back, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, like, comment, so I'll do more of these. If you don't, then I might not do this again, because if you don't want to see this shit, I'll keep it to me. I will keep it to me. Do you know how much content I have in my SSD cards that you haven't seen yet? So if you like this shit, let me know.